What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, joined as always by my co-hosts Josh and John Luke. How's it going, guys?
Doing well today. Feeling good.
Yeah. How you doing? It was a killer news broke out today. But guys, today we are joined by a very special guest. You definitely already know her. She does fantasy and sports betting for Sports Illustrated. She's a host on SiriusXM, the host of Waiver Wired, and you can catch her tonight on Fantasy Dirt at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM. Jen Piacenti, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. We get to have a casual day. We're going to play some games. This is what I live for.
Yes. Thank God we made our show like casual so that we don't have to do all that extra work every day.
Oh my God. It's enough for me to just
lazy
put on
by
a t-shirt
design
and a hat. But
did not do any research, didn't prepare. I might lose.
You're probably more likely to lose if you do prepare for this, to be honest.
Andrew going up against Josh and JL, so I think you got a pretty good shot.
Real easy match.
I'm taking down the
W.
Oh,
no. I'm winning today, Jen. No, don't get any ideas.
I believe it. Who is the season-long victor here? Like, who has the advantage? Who do I need to
it's definitely me. Definitely me.
It's me.
Definitely me.
Yeah,
definitely
out of the three of us, it's for sure
it's probably me.
I'll take the Josh has probably won more games, but JL's been on a hot streak.
JL's been on a cold.
So JL's like the Braves, and Josh is like, the San Francisco Giants.
Yes,
the Yankees back in the early 2010s.
Yeah, if the Yankees just randomly start losing for streaks at a time.
We got J-Wall in here. He said, howdy, y'all. Let's get it. Welcome in, J-Wall. And our favorite Dane is back. What's up, Thomas? Glad to have you in here. Jake said, well, I guess people dropping for Watson was a bad idea. How are you guys today?
Doing fantastic, Jake.
We're doing fantastic, Jake. Glad to have you in here. And Max said, who's a reasonable running back that you guys think I could get for Chris Godwin? We're starting off with a question early. So, Josh, is there any running back that comes to mind that you think is in a similar tier to Chris Godwin that you could realistically trade for?
Yeah, I mean, Chris Godwin is a top tier fantasy wide receiver, right? He's probably in the top 15, top 12 for the rest of the season for me. So you're looking for a pretty solid running back. However, the running back position, as we all know, is a little bit more valued because there's a lot less of them, a lot less quality running backs out there. So
let me ask you this, Josh.
Yeah, hit me.
Cordero Patterson, Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin.
It's Chris Godwin here for me.
Jen is a Chris Godwin.
It's Chris Godwin, but man, I got to tell you, especially this week, the Cordero Patterson matchup is so sweet. I don't know how much longer we're going to have to deny Patterson, but like my brain tells me it can't continue.
Right.
So let's see what happens this week versus Miami. I mean, it's smash spot.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, if you are trading away Chris Godwin, the kind of running back I'm aiming for, and it depends on your record. Maybe you can shoot for one of these injured running backs, Saquon Barkley or Nick Chubb. Maybe you target a guy that needs to get a win and you have a good record. You could get one of those. If you're able to get DeAndre Swift, that's a trade I definitely would make.
Yeah, I think so. You might have to go. You might have to go down a tier, but I like the Nick Chubb call. Maybe go see if there's a desperate. This is a wide receiver hellscape. It's not just a running back hellscape this week. Wide receiver is crazy this week with all of the buys as well. Every team seems to have at least two fantasy relevant wide receivers, so you might be able to get a desperate manager with an injured player. What about David Montgomery?
Oh, okay. I think I'd rather have Godwin.
I think so too. Jen, what about you? David Montgomery or Chris Godwin?
I mean, I'd rather have Godwin too. But it's all dependent. Like, where are you? Like, how bad is your running back depth and how stacked are you at wide receiver? So, and what does the other person need? So that's the other thing. I think one of the mistakes people make with trades is they don't go look at the other person's team and speak to their needs. They could be desperate with bye weeks and you may be able to pull something off. You can pull off with somebody else. So you got to do a little due diligence and then you can often get a lot more value.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a strong advocate for that. Like, go and talk to your league mates, see how they value these different players and see how you can make a mutually beneficial trade. That's how you win these leagues.
Yep. Completely agree there. And Max in here saying follow up. Could you rank these running back? I think these are wide receivers.
He corrected it.
Godwin, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and DJ Moore.
For this week or versus rest of the season? Mm-hmm. Rest of season, I would go DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then choose your poison with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I go Godwin Evans.
Yeah, me too. In PPR.
God, that hurts my feelings. I love Evans so much, but I'm right there with you guys. It's Godwin Evans for me as well.
Yep.
Completely agree on the first two. Can I tell you guys a trade I made today and get your opinion? It reminded me of bye week. Reminded me of bye weeks, and I had a wide receiver nightmare. My top 3 wide receivers were Odell Beckham, Amari Cooper, and Keenan Allen. So it was not going well for me. So I traded Keenan Allen and Ramondre Stevenson for Cortland Sutton and Jalen Waddle, both guys that I needed to start this week.
Run it back real quick.
Keenan Allen and Ramondre Stevenson, and I'm 3-3 in this league. I traded away Keenan Allen and Ramondre redraft for Jalen Waddle and Cortland Sutton. I do think I gave up some value, but I didn't have any other wide receivers to start. None.
Did you really need to win this week? You couldn't take it now.
No, I think I need to win this week.
Waddle's looking better now that 2 is back. Those 2 touchdowns last week were good. Cortland Sutton, I love. He's seeing the most air yards for Denver. I don't know why they wait so long to target him in the red zone and get him involved, but maybe they'll figure that out. He's certainly in a good spot tonight versus that roughed up Cleveland secondary. So I think it would probably definitely be good for this week. I think Allen's got a lot more in him. And, how are you at running back?
Probably not good if we're being honest. James Conner and JD McKissick are my starting running backs.
Just this week, though, not normally.
This was a 0 RB team that my wide receivers all failed on me for. So I have Calvin Ridley as well, but my other running backs are Melvin Gordon, Sony Michel, Michael Carter,
and you traded away James
Conner and JD McKissick. No, I traded away Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh gosh,
James Robinson. I would have never made that trade.
Keenan Allen, James Robinson. I'm like, Simon, that was a bad trade.
Yeah, and this one I still don't feel great about, but I needed a win this week, so I went out and bought it. I paid up with Keenan Allen with a bye week.
I just made a trade yesterday. I kind of did the opposite. I have a pretty good record. I actually traded away Deandre Hopkins. I did it. I traded away Deandre Hopkins.
I don't hate it.
Wow.
I know. Hey guys, Deandre Hopkins, he was the second in terms of targets, yards, and receptions last year. And he is nowhere. He's in the 30s in all these categories this year.
Too many pass catchers. Too many pass catchers for Kyler. That's the same issue with Ertz for me. Like the trade, everyone was like, "Oh, Ertz to the moon. He's got his own thing." Yeah, but I think he will have a good week this week. Just like I should say that, and I'm playing him on all my DFS lineups, especially at the price, like 5,300 on FanDuel. But ordinarily, he joins a really long list of pass catchers. And when has Cliff Kingsbury used the tight end regularly? He hasn't. Now, of course, Ertz is more talented, blah, blah, blah. But I think we all have to temper expectations for all the receivers. They're all good, but they could just divide it up and we don't get any major points from any of them.
And that's what we've seen up until now.
Ertz stayed exactly where I had him rest of season rankings with the move because I can't imagine he's going to get more targets in Arizona with the number of pass catches they had there. It wasn't like he wasn't targeted in Philly. He was getting 6-7 targets a game. They're going to be higher value targets for sure, but it wasn't enough for me to move him around.
I'm not sure they will be higher value targets because he would have 5 red zone opportunities, with Philly. And Max Williams had 1 with Arizona. So I don't know. I think you'll get a more solid floor. Yeah. But you won't get the big game. So I think it ends up being exactly the same, like you said.
Yeah, Max Williams has a 9.2% target share on the season, which isn't anything amazing. But at tight end, I guess,
Right.
Tight end.
Take what you can get.
Right.
Guys, we were just talking about Patterson, and we have another trade question in here. Uday traded Gibson, Patterson, and Thielen for Kamara and Claypool. How do you guys feel about this trade? Which side would you fall on?
Love that trade. Kamara and Claypool.
Yeah. I like that too.
I think that was a slam dunk, Uday. Nice job on that trade. Good job. And then we have another question in here from Cole. He said, I'm strong at RB with Kamara, Swift, Henderson, Patterson, and Darrell Williams, weaker at wide receiver. Should he try to sell Cordero Patterson for a wide receiver?
I don't think those wide receivers are that weak. DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Marvin Jones, and Ruggs. Those
are not weak wide receivers.
Depending on how many wide receivers you start, I could see being concerned if it's starting 3 wide receivers. And I'm fine with Marvin Jones and Ruggs, but your wide receiver 3 could be maybe a little weak if it's 3 wide
receivers. But here's 2 things I want to say. A running back depth, I'm not trading it right now. I'm sorry. It's just too crazy. And also, can't your league start Cordero Patterson as a wide receiver?
He came in and said, unfortunately, my league doesn't allow me to play Patterson at wide receiver.
Okay. There you go.
Which that was the perfect solution right there. Was just plug Patterson in at wide receiver. Why trade him for a better one when you got a great one on your team?
Yeah.
But
I think ESPN just changed that. Maybe maybe just one of my ESPN leagues. I have Cordell Patterson, and I can only put him in at running back.
Oh dang, that was the cheat code about him. Okay, that definitely downgrades Patterson then.
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to answer one more question real quick, guys. Then we're going to go ahead and get started with the game for a minute or jump into news. But we will be answering your questions throughout the show, everyone. And a reminder that if we don't get to your question during the show today, we are live right after this at 4:15 Eastern time for Fantasy Football Office Hours, doing nothing but answering your questions. So if we don't get to it here, make sure you come over there and ask us any and all questions you have for us for Week 7 or rest of the season, or about Josh's dietary habits, whatever you want to ask us, it's fine.
Not good,
Bob. Hasn't been good lately.
Jay Wall says start 2 and flex Elijah Mitchell, Ernest Johnson, or Dallas Goedert. So which 2 of these players are you starting? For me, it's Elijah Mitchell and Dallas Goedert. I am truly avoiding these Browns running backs at all costs with the right tackle, left tackle out, in case Keenum in at quarterback. It's so bad for me. Maybe I'm a jaded Browns fan and it's judging my perception here, but those are the 2 I'm going. Jen, which 2 of these players would you start?
I'm going Mitchell and Goddard. Goddard's in a smash spot. I trust Mitchell more in the San Francisco backfield. Ernest Johnson, everyone's going over the moon for him. But okay, between he and Demetric Felton, they have combined for 3 carries this season. We all went nuts for Ernest Johnson last year. He had one okay game, not even good game, okay game versus a really crap Dallas defense. They're going to be able to stack the box if they want to, if they're not worried about Case Keenum, or if they are. I just, the weather doesn't look, I just can't. I mean,
I'm right there with you.
Bye-week emergency.
Can't find the words.
I mean,
I'm right there with you.
He totally prove me wrong, but I can't tell everyone to push all their chips in.
Josh, JL, are either of you guys starting Ernest Johnson in this scenario?
I'm fine starting Ernest Johnson over Goddard if you want. I completely agree with everything Jen said. And Dallas Goedert does have a good matchup against the Raiders. I'm attaching myself to this narrative that this game is going to be low scoring, and I'm hoping that they're just going to pound the run game with Ernest Johnson, and we'll see if that happens or not. But they're so close that I'm fine going either way. But Elijah Mitchell is definitely locked in out of these 3.
Absolutely.
There we go, guys. Real quick before we start playing our game. First, if you have not done so already and you're watching this video, that means you are already on our YouTube or Twitch channels. Hit that like button and hit subscribe. It's the easiest way to show your support for our show. And it makes sure you never miss another one of these great shows again. Great guests like Jen coming on. You would have missed it if you didn't have that notification bell on.
It's addicting.
I can't believe you guys do this every day. Like, you guys are so good.
Monday through Friday.
I mean, come on.
9 shows a week. Going on 10 now.
Yeah, when we started it, we were like, oh, we could totally do this. And then we didn't realize till later, like, oh, wow, this is not a normal thing most people do. Okay.
Josh, before we start playing our game, do you have some news for us today going into Thursday Night Football?
I have some news, guys. I have some news. You ready for it?
Let's run through it real quick. Yep.
All right, let's get in there. I'll just mention it. I'm not even putting it up there. There were the rumors about Deshaun Watson maybe getting traded to the Dolphins. We've seen both sides of it. It might not be true. It might not. It could be.
It did come from a credible beat writer in Houston.
Yeah.
So
I know.
There might be some merit there.
Also, there's rumors about Marlon Mack being involved in trade talks with the Chiefs, Panthers, 49ers, and Saints. So,
bell of the ball, Marlon
Mack.
Great.
Le'Veon Bell did great in that situation.
Yeah. Well, Le'Veon's in Baltimore was like, son of a bitch. So, where were these teams when I was free agent?
But for tonight, Thursday Night Football, Teddy Bridgewater is expected to play. Good news for Broncos fans out there. Good news for Cortland Sutton fans out there.
Okay.
Great news. And guys, like, if you're watching this, if you happen to be in Colorado, I've got a boosted parlay bet at SA Sportsbook. It only counts in Colorado, but it's boosted to 650 if the Broncos win and Noah Fant scores a touchdown. And also, if Teddy Bridgewater rushes one in, which I know is crazy, okay, because like he's hobbled, but he hasn't rushed one in yet this year. And they've allowed 3 rushing touchdowns, including one to like Tyrod Taylor. It's plus 800. So if you guys want to, if you like to gamble, just go over there and throw like $10 on it.
Yes, go check it out.
Never done that before.
That's gonna hit, and a bunch of people are gonna be like coming in with like, oh my god, Jen won me so much money.
Love it. Also, guys, for tonight on the Brown side of the ball, we know they have all the people that are out, but it appears that Jarvis Landry is likely to play tonight. Hey, there you go, Simon. Meanwhile, Odell Beckham is facing an uphill battle to play. So at least he'll have Jarvis, probably. It looks like, probably.
Great. One starter on the Browns offense tonight.
And we were just talking about him. Dallas Goedert was removed from the COVID list, so you can have confidence starting him. Terry McLaurin, he practiced in a limited fashion today. It's good to see him out there, at the very least. I expect him to play, personally. Antonio Gibson and Ricky Seals-Jones are practicing in full, so we got that. Antonio Gibson does have the fractured shin, so I do expect J.D. McKissic still to be involved.
Yeah.
So on that note, before we move on, there was a question in here related to that. McKissic or Ernest Johnson this week? I'm going McKissic.
Unless it's not PPR, I think you have to go McKissic. Like, they're going to be playing catch up to Green Bay. Heineke's going to check down to him because he's a crummy quarterback, or he's a struggling quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but it's, you know what I'm saying?
He's an average quarterback.
And McKissic is the guy who third along in the 2-minute drill. Like, he had 19 PPR points last week. I think we have to give him credit. I trust him more than Ernest Johnson.
Completely agree.
I go Ernest Johnson.
It's close enough. I'm hoping that Antonio Gibson does not actually play very much in this game.
So T.Y. Hilton is not at practice today.
Boo.
Michael Pittman. Tyreek Hill did not practice today. This is looking bad. I'm a little concerned. I expect I'm fine with him being out Wednesday. That's typically the rest day. But, if he doesn't practice tomorrow, you have to be concerned.
Well, let me ask you this. If Tyreek Hill doesn't play, do you think the Titans cover the 5.5-point spread? Because,
they're at home, too.
He has trouble covering the spread.
And the Titans are at home, I believe. So, I would definitely take the Titans.
Kansas City, King Henry could just go wacko. I think they might.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans.
After that win last week.
Spread.
They're flying high,
but also it took a lot out of them to get that win. But I would take the Titans plus 5.5, especially.
I think I would as well if Tyreek Hill doesn't play.
And then last but not least, maybe kind of least. I don't know if a ton of people are starting these guys, but Latavius Murray and Sammy Watkins are not practicing today. Don't play them.
Rashad Bateman, DFS value. Boom.
Yes.
No Watkins, Bateman.
That's all I have today, guys.
There we go. Guys, today we are playing Poll Perception. It is our original game. I'm going to run through the rules real quick before we jump in. Before this show, I found 7 polls online about fantasy football, either trades, dynasty values, redraft values, who should I start, all different kinds of polls. I'm going to propose one of these polls to one of our contestants. I may ask Josh, what percentage of people chose Deandre Hopkins over Saquon Barkley?
Probably like 55.
Josh says 55%. John, Luke, and Jen would then guess whether the actual answer is over or under Josh's guess. Over. So Josh is basically setting the line, and then Jen and JL are taking the over-under. The closer Josh is to the actual number, the more points he gets. Maxing out at 15 away, you'll get 1 point if you're 15 away. And then John, Luke, and Jen, you guys would get 2 points for correctly picking the over-under. We will do 6 rounds like this, alternating who's getting asked a poll. So you'll each get 2 polls. And then in the 7th and final round, you will all guess a percentage. Whoever's closest gets 5 points, unless you nail it right on the head, and then you will get 10. The person with the most points at the end of the game is our winner. And guys, it's been a minute since we've had someone nail it right on the head. I'm feeling it today. I have a feeling someone's going to get one exactly right today. So we will see.
Me.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready.
We're going to go ahead and jump into poll number 1. Actually, before we do that, Jen, would you like to go first, second, or third today?
I'll go third.
And
watch the experts, and I'm going to learn.
I'm sorry, there's no experts. There's no experts playing today. Josh, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Josh going first. JL second. Jen third. And everyone with your questions in the chat, we're going to answer them in between rounds. So do not worry. We're going to keep on getting to them. We love answering your questions, so keep them coming. Josh, are you ready for your first poll?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Let's go. My question for you, Josh, this is a dynasty league. And the question was, which tight end would you rather roster in dynasty? Side A is Mark Andrews. Side B is TJ Hawkinson. Side C is George Kittle. What percentage of people chose Mark Andrews in this poll?
Tricky.
Typically, I'm assuming this is from the last few days, right?
Yep. All the polls are since Sunday.
Perfect. So Mark Andrews, he's been killing it. He's been lighting the world on fire. He's a young tight end tied to a pretty high-powered offense, I would say. Some people might disagree in terms of passing. TJ Hawkinson's been somewhat disappointing this year. I'm thinking Mark Andrews is going to win this poll. George Kittle, he's a little bit on the older side. He's not old. He's probably like 27, 28. He's on the IR right now. I'm going to say that, yeah, most people are going to choose Mark Andrews, but just what percentage? I'll say that 45% of people chose Mark Andrews here.
Josh locking in 45% of people chose Mark Andrews. John Luke, we're coming to you next. Do you think the actual answer is over or under Josh's guess of 45%?
45 is not a bad guess. I think the number I wrote down immediately that came to my mind was 38%. Before the season, Mark Andrews I feel like would have been the clear third.
Absolutely.
Draft. So I do think the recency bias affects it, but I don't think it affects it quite as much as Josh said. I'm going to go under here.
JL taking the under, and Jen, are you following JL with the under, or are you taking the over on this one?
I'm taking the under.
Double unders from Jen and JL.
Did I go too high?
We had some guesses in the chat. Craig said 40%. J-Wall said 44%.
I like that J-Wall.
Thomas said 39%. Albert with 55%. And Jay with 35%. A reminder for everyone watching, if you haven't watched us play Poll Perception before, play along in the chat. Give us your guesses. We will applaud you if you're close, and we will mock you relentlessly if you have a really bad guess. So just throw them in there. Guys, are you ready for the answer, Josh?
I'm feeling like I went just slightly too high, but I like it still. I like where I am at. I like where I'm at.
The actual percentage of people that chose Mark Andrews in this poll is 44%. You did go just a little bit too high, Josh. You were 1 percentage point away, meaning you will get 5 points for that.
Yeah,
Jen and JL, you snuck in with the under, but you got it, so you get 2 points each. And J-Wall nailing it exactly on the first poll. Nice job, J-Wall. Let me go ahead and add up these points, put them on the screen. But while we're waiting, Jen, of these 3 tight ends, which one would you prefer long-term in Dynasty? Is it Mark Andrews?
Hawk.
Just like him as a talent better?
Yep.
Josh, what about you? Ravens fan? Are you going Hawk, Andrews, or Kittle?
Yeah, I'm a Ravens fan, but I'm going TJ Hawkinson here as well. I just think he's a little bit more athletic. Yeah. I just love the talent. He's tied to a little bit worse of an offense than Mark Andrews, but it's Dynasty. I do think they improve things eventually. And George Kittle, he's just a little bit older, and he's had injury issues throughout his career. So, Hawk.
J-Wall in here saying, hell yeah, 3-5. The 3-5 crew already repping in this game today. And Jen, the chat, you see how they're all guessing different answers. There was one question where they decided on the FanDuel show to all guess the same answer. Like they banded together, everybody guessed 35%, and then the answer was exactly 35%. Wow. And so they've renamed themselves the 3-5 crew.
Yeah.
3-5 and straight vibing.
3-5 and straight vibing.
We got to, Brian in here said, what about D-Hop and Mixon for Diggs and Darrell Henderson? I'm not making a lateral move. Yeah, it's too lateral for me. Jen, how do you feel about this one?
I mean, I don't really see why. If you like one of the players better on the one side, sure, why not? Because I don't really think it changes anything. So if you're a Bills fan and you really want Diggs, then sure.
Yep, I'm right there with you. This is a trade I probably wouldn't make. I try not to make these kind of lateral position for position in the same tier trades. They stress me out, man, because you're just betting on one single player. Situation doesn't even matter at that point. We got Matt in here said Dynasty PPR, which side? Pittman, Tony, Rondale Moore, or Woods, Chenault, and Mooney. So Michael Pittman, Kadarius Toney, and Rondale Moore, or Robert Woods, Laviska Shenault, and Darnell Mooney. JL, which side of this trade do you prefer?
I don't know. Oh gosh.
Dynasty, right?
Dynasty is what really throws this off because, you essentially have all this young talent on the left side.
You still got some young talent on the right side too, though, with Chenault and Mooney.
Yeah. Let me do a Josh maneuver here and break this down. Pittman or Woods. I'd probably rather have Woods right now and just Dynasty. It's shorter term value, but probably higher value. But it's gotten closer since the offseason. Tony or Chenault, I'd rather have Chenault. Rondale Moore, Mooney, I'd rather have Rondale Moore. That's a super even trade for me. I would the way I like to play Dynasty, I would probably go I'd go to the left side. I'd go Pittman, Tony, Rondo Moore.
See, JL, when you were breaking it down, I think Tony and Chenault are very, very close in Dynasty value.
Tony has shot up. People were so down on Kadarius Toney.
And I think we were wrong.
I've got him in a bunch of leagues.
So I think it's the left side for me as well. And I'm generally a guy who prefers to take the value on slightly older wide receivers in Dynasty. It's how I build my Dynasty rosters. But I'll take these young wide receivers on the left. That's where I'm leaning. Jen, what about you?
I would take the left.
The left. Josh?
It's pretty easily the left for me.
The left. We got a unanimous left here. JL, are you ready for your next poll?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Your poll, your first poll of the day. This is a PPR Dynasty League, and we were just talking about them. Side A is Kadarius Toney. Side B is Terrace Marshall. What percentage of people chose Kadarius Toney in this poll?
God, I hate this. I love Marshall coming into the season. People are. I feel like in the last few poll perception games we had where Terrace Marshall was involved, like it's crazy how much the recency bias was affecting. I swear we had a poll just like this.
Like a few weeks ago. Yeah.
I
think it was right when Kadarius Toney broke out. It had that big game.
Yeah.
We had a poll very similar to this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I guess it was before he got hurt. I'm still gonna go on the Kadarius Toney side. I'm gonna go with 59%.
59% for JL on the Kadarius Toney side. Jen, we're coming to you first for your over-under guess. Do you think the actual answer is over or under 59%?
I think it's over.
Jen taking the over on that one. And Josh, you going with the over as well, or are you taking the under on JL's guess?
I think it was a good guess, JL.
Thank you, Josh.
59% seems about right. Kadarius Toney was a first-round pick in the NFL draft, though. Terrace Marshall, second round. I don't know if too many people on Twitter are really considering that.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah, wasn't he picked early?
Who? Terrace Marshall?
Yeah. Or am I misremembering?
Probably mid-second round. I'll take the over as well.
Double overs on JL's guess of 59%. We've got some guesses in the chat as well. Bam said, I'd say 92. J-Wall said 82%.
Wow.
JR said 83.
I did not see.
I think I went too low,
Jay said 65. Albert said 60. Thomas in here was 69. Jordan 78 and Scott Fish 72%. You're late, Scott.
Okay.
What were you saying, Jen?
I think I would have said 67 for the
67.
record.
67 is where you.
I like playing that game because then if I'm like exactly right, I get to brag. So I always try and write it down before, even if it's not
we got to restart the show, guys.
Yeah, guys, we have to wind it back. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game.
As always, I'm here.
Guys, the actual percentage of people that chose Kadarius Toney in this poll over Terrace Marshall is
59%.
63%. It was 63%. So JL, you were still within 5 percentage points. So you will get 5 more points.
That was good, JL.
Good.
Thank you.
Jen and Josh, you guys both got the correct over-under on that one. So you'll get 2 more points. And you guys are like, this is a perfect game so far.
It's
both of you have been within
very
5.
measured.
Everyone's getting the over-unders right.
The pressure's on. I feel
Josh, you're going to move up to 7 points. JL, you will also move up to 7. And Jen, you're moving up to 4, but you have not yet had your poll yet. So to 7 to 4 after that round. And Jay said, I love Josh wasting time so he can think.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was like,
so much of my life is listening to Josh stall.
Yep. Hey, I stall real good though. I stall
good.
You're
excellent stall.
And Matt is in here saying Tony is the most agile guy I've ever seen. Dude's a dog.
Have you watched Lamar Jackson with the football in his
or like Olympic gymnastics?
Or how about Tyreek Hill? You know.
But I think what that's showing at least is like the public perception of Kadarius Toney has wildly shifted since the beginning of like one of the most drastic changes I've seen recently in fantasy football. It's crazy.
We haven't seen Terrace Marshall have some big show game.
Right.
Like we're like, oh my God, he's amazing. And Kadarius Toney's now done it twice, really.
Right.
So because we're guessing what other people are thinking here. This is what's hard about this game. You can't guess what you think necessarily. I mean, I would pick Toney. But you have to go think what other people think. So
exactly.
And then you can get in your head, you start overthinking it. Like, is Twitter reactive? And then the second you think
It's the beauty of this game, right? Is like you see how the public is different from how you think, and then you
Very
go use that to your
sneaky,
advantage.
It's very clever.
But also like you gotta imagine like Terrace Marshall's on the Panthers where he's maybe the third receiving option. If something happened to DJ Moore, I bet Terrace Marshall, if he didn't play like the Giants, they've been obliterated in the wide receiving core. So Tony was kind of forced into a role. If Terrace Marshall was forced into a role, I bet he would have some games. So
He's a great prospect.
Poor Robbie Anderson.
Poor Robbie.
It's like he's getting the targets. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Yeah.
He's getting the targets. It's just not happening. Jen, are you ready for your first poll of the game?
I'm nervous, guys. I mean, like, I don't know if I need someone to hold my hand. Like,
you got this.
I'm ready. But this bar's been set really high here.
It has been. I'll be honest.
Totally unintentional.
We don't normally play this well.
Well, I will tell you, this is the JL special. He starts out high and then just craters.
That is true.
Yeah.
It is a technique of his. It doesn't work out very well, though. Scott in here saying Sam Darnold can't go through progressions, and Marshall was never the first read. That's not conducive to fantasy awesomeness. Yeah, fantasy awesomeness is a stat that Scott and I track closely, and Terrace Marshall is lacking there right now. But Tony's got it.
Proprietary stat.
Yeah.
Okay, Jen, your first poll. This is another dynasty poll. Side A is Jamar Chase. Side B is Justin Jefferson. What percentage of people said they would prefer Jamar Chase in this poll? And I just want to tell you, Jen, I don't pick who gets what poll. I have the order predetermined, and then where you guys fall in. But so this is Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. What percentage of people chose Jamar Chase?
Well, first of all, there is no right answer to this question. Like, in the poll. And we don't know who posted the poll because I'm trying to think of like who has what followers because then I might know.
I've never thought about that actually.
Yeah,
that's
like different, who you're marketing to here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, 51% Jamar Chase.
51% Jamar Chase from Jen.
That is a line.
I don't know.
That is a good line.
I don't know what to do with that.
Jen, you said a good line when the other two people both go, as soon as you say it. Josh, are you taking the over or under on Jen's guess of 51% for this poll?
So this is a dynasty league, but let's just assume that people didn't see that. I think that could influence this post a little bit. Jamar Chase has been lighting the world on fire, but Justin Jefferson, I think he's ranked higher so far. Like he's scored more fantasy points, right? It's pretty close. Jamar Chase has been killing it. And Justin Jefferson just had one of the best rookie seasons, if not the best rookie season we've ever seen. I feel like it's got to be
maybe
slightly on the Justin Jefferson side. So I'll take the under.
Josh taking the under here. John Luke, are you going the under with Josh or are you going the over on Jen's line?
Yeah,
I'm
Jen.
so excited now. I know JL stands for Jean-Luc.
What'd you think it was? What'd you think it was before?
I had no idea. I mean, I could have guessed a million things, but now I don't even have to guess. Now I just
John Loser.
The more you know.
That is true. I had to petition to change it. My mom gave me the middle name Loser. It's very rude. Jen, I think you can't really go wrong in this bowl because I think it's got to be around that 50% mark.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to get points either way here. I do slightly lean the Jefferson side here, and I'm hoping Dynasty falls out like that. The recency bias doesn't affect this too much. I'm gonna go with Josh and go under.
Okay, we got double
so close.
unders.
It was such a
48% was the number that popped into my head.
I probably would have gone with 50.
Yeah.
Right?
That influenced my over under.
Yeah.
JR guessed 31%,
Wow.
Bam with 29,
Wow.
Albert with 35,
Wow.
J-Wall in here with 53, more in line with you, Jen.
And
Thomas
J-Wall
said-
was spot on in the first one. So.
He was, but he was pretty bad on the
You guys
last
watch
one.
the Bengals games? What are you doing?
They haven't
Jamar
turned
Chase
them
looks
on.
amazing.
Thomas at 39, Jay said 45%, Matt with 50, and Truly Epic with 62%.
Truly epic.
Running the gambit here.
Yeah, all over the place.
Okay,
Cheers.
the actual percentage of people that chose Jamar Chase in this poll was 49%. So Jen, you were 2 percentage points away. You guys just did the perfect round.
You were right.
Everyone
Everyone
got
49.
We all did it.
Go.
We all did it.
We all did it.
You all did it. So Jen, you're going to get 5 points for that, bringing you up to 9. And you know what? Everybody's got 9 points because you all got the over-unders all right.
Yes.
And you all got
We've never
5
had
points
this
on your poll.
before.
Nines
This is
across
nuts.
the board.
I've never seen a game this high scoring after the first
You guys
round.
will not believe
clearly
it.
I got a regular spot on the show now, guys, right?
Clearly,
Absolutely.
this is your
Bar.
show now. We're just your guests.
Scott, wow, it's incredible every
It's
time.
It's amazing.
Perfectly right.
Just gets
right
it in
after
the last
it's revealed.
second. Right? Yeah, right after we reveal.
does
Right
he
before we
do it?
reveal. Sorry.
How does he do it?
I don't know. Magical fish.
Also, shout out to Matt for the 50% guess. You were right there, almost nailed it right on the head. And guys, before we move on to our next poll, I just wanted to ask you, Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? Dynasty.
You're gonna make us do it.
No.
I'm going to make you do it. JL already answered. He said Jefferson, and he was hoping people would lean that way with him. Josh, are you agreeing?
They're the same to me. Yeah, Justin. I'll slightly go Justin Jefferson, but I love Jamar Chase. They're like the top 2 dynasty receivers for me right now.
Jen, what about you?
I really don't want to pick again. I think they're fantastic. I will slightly lean Chase because
There we go. Yes.
That's
And
the
I
exciting answer. That's the
Burrow's
thing taking
getting
the
better,
over.
and I think he's going to be better than Kirk Cousins in the next few years. So there we
You
go.
took the words out of my mouth. I was going to
That's
say
good
they're so
reason, yeah.
close that I'll take the one tied to the young, super good rookie quarterback, but franchise quarterback. I'll take Jamar Chase, but why not both? Maybe you can get both on your dynasty team.
Josh, I know you are the resident AJ Brown lover, and he might have been your wide receiver one coming into the season. Jamar Chase or AJ Brown?
Jamar Chase.
Really?
Yep. AJ Brown's still in like that top tier of receivers for me, dynasty wise, but I'll take Jamar Chase.
Chase is the edge now. Jen, would you take AJ Brown or Jamar Chase?
I would take Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Man.
AJ Brown just pops up with too many injuries.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me.
Seriously.
Yeah.
One of these years, we're going to have a year where none of the rookie wide receivers come out and just look absolutely incredible. But until then, we're going to keep on overdrafting rookie wide receivers in all of our drafts going forward.
Like that Ronald Jones, Rashad Penny running back.
Exactly. Yeah, the same thing that happened with running backs going into that
We
Ronald
had
Jones.
Kareem
year.
Hunt, CMC, Alvin Kamara all 1 year, and then the next year, Ronald Jones, Rashad Penny.
Royce
God.
Freeman.
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Oh, he was, yeah. God, I got wrecked in those rookie drafts.
You did get wrecked in those rookie drafts, JL. Before we move on to the second round of polls, J-Wall has a question for us. Amari Cooper and Higbee or A-Rob and Knox in Dynasty. And J-Wall sent me this trade, and I rejected it this morning. So you already know where I stand, J-Wall. Jen, where do you stand on this trade?
I would take Cooper and Higbee.
Cooper and Higbee?
Me too.
Yeah.
What if
Allen Robinson is 27? Is that
Allen
right?
Robinson's like 29.
29.
I think he's older than that. Yeah.
And Cooper's
He's
27.
at least 28.
He's our age. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
say
go
around
Cooper.
29 though.
Now, let's say
God, Knox is and Knox is his third year, right? He could be a dynasty force.
He could be.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Knox over Higbee.
I think I'd
definitely Cooper over A-Rob.
Right.
Yeah. I might go Allen Robinson Knox. You know, I'm gonna leave that side.
I have Allen Robinson Knox. I declined this trade, and the tiebreaker was I have no other wide receivers to start this week, period, besides Allen Robinson, and I need a win. Amari Cooper's on bye, and I literally there's not a single other wide. It was Powell was the next wide receiver I could have started. Cornell Powell.
Oh yes, yeah.
So you heard him, J-Wall. Offer the trade next week, and you'll probably get it done.
Let me reconsider it next week, J-Wall. But this week I could not do it. Jake in here said D-Hop and Darrell Williams for Kamara, or is that too far?
No,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I like that.
Go get Kamara.
We just talked about how Deandre Hopkins is kind of this offense is willing to spread the ball around. He's not getting the targets, receptions, yards. He's living off those touchdowns. And if those touchdowns aren't coming in the future, he's going to be a disappointing fantasy asset. I'm not saying he's not top 12 still, but disappointing for sure.
One more question before we move into the next round from Apostrophe, our great friend. Darrell Williams, Damian Williams, or Josh Jacobs, RB2 spot, full PPR. Jen, which of these three backs would you be starting this week in a PPR league?
I'm starting Darrell Williams in the whole revenge game narrative situation that's going to be going on this weekend. And the matchup is it's so good. I'm looking at Detroit. What am I talking about? Wait a second. I just gave you Darrell Henderson.
Kansas City.
Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, Darrell Henderson. Oh,
Darrell Williams.
Yeah.
I'm so bad. You totally said Darrell Williams, and I, in my head, said Darrell Henderson. Okay, so let me reconsider this. The answer is Josh Jacobs.
I'm actually going Darrell Williams myself.
Yeah, I am too. You guys want to guess the over/under on this game?
I'm guessing it
Well, you
starts
started
with a 5
saying
because you
50.
said 50.
Yeah, damn it.
55 and a half.
That sounds perfect.
Jen?
I actually wrote this down somewhere. I think it's 51 and a half.
57 and a half.
Wow, it's gone up a lot.
What?
It's gone up a lot.
Pretty high.
That's a wild line.
Also, my
Yeah.
mom came in here and said lies, calling me out. She did not name me John Loser. Surprise.
It was Jason Loser.
Yes.
And then he changed it to John. I'm split
You guys
between
know I
Daryl
have a brother that changed his name legally. I don't know if we've heard this story. Okay, if you've heard this
No.
story, you can stop me.
I
But
haven't.
I have a brother who legally changed his name, and I promise you, I cannot make this up, to Fox
Anticipation.
Danger Piacenti.
I love that name. That is the coolest name
His
ever.
first name is Fox. His middle name is Danger. Friends,
that
and I even just got his wedding invitation. It is Amber Criswell is marrying Fox Danger Piacenti.
Is that
My
a family?
mother's
Is that like
like-
a family name?
I refuse.
Old great grandpappy.
She won't call him Fox.
Fox Danger.
I call him Fox.
Is
She's like,
there-
his name is Jonathan. That's the name I gave him.
Is there a reason?
I go by my middle name, Danger.
I hope the reason is just Fox
You
Danger's a
like-
badass name.
He just
I
thinks it's
really
a
like
badass
this.
name. Yeah, and he likes foxes. I mean, like you do. I don't know.
It sounds like he
That's all-
approaches
Rafe
like
is
his,
fine with it.
he approaches his name the same way Simon approaches.
I want to
like,
get a
tattoos.
drink with this guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome, man. Now my mind's running. I never
Right?
even considered the possibility that my name didn't have to be Simon Daniel.
That it could be
Like I could,
Fox
I
Danger.
could be
Simon
anything.
Danger.
Yeah.
Simon Danger.
That's,
Honestly,
limit
that's
of my
pretty.
creativity.
There's your middle name.
It's fairly fitting as well, I think. And Scott
You
said, "No
figured
jail."
it
She
out.
was correcting you. Your
Yeah.
name is John Lies. She
Ah,
was just saying
yes.
lies, not loser. It's
I always forget.
lies.
Well, I'm changing it to Fox Danger, so it doesn't matter.
Imagine Fox Danger, huh?
So
But
JFC,
question.
we'll start calling you.
Jen,
instead
you
of
can walk
JL.
into any room and your icebreaker is gonna beat out everybody else's. Your fun
And I'll
fact.
be like, hey,
My
I
brother's
have
name
4
is-
brothers, one of which is named Fox
Yeah,
Danger.
two truths and a lie, you will win every time.
Right? That's
Yes.
true. I would
Also,
win that.
4 brothers. Damn, that's
But I actually have 5 technically, but
oh
anyway,
my gosh,
long story.
That's a lot
I
of
have a lot
brothers
of
to grow up with.
We just
Bam,
ignored
what-
the fifth one.
Bam wants to know Kamara and Boyd or Lenny and Mixon half PPR. So which side of this trade would you prefer? Alvin Kamara and Tyler Boyd or Leonard
on.
Fournette and Joe Mixon?
That depends on if you need a wide receiver or not. To me, if you're trying to build running back depth, but I don't know why. What do you mean? See what Kamara can do? I think we know what Kamara can do, and it's absolutely dominant.
It's a lot.
And
It's
Yeah.
a lot.
going to continue to do it this week.
Yeah.
Man, the only reason I could see making this trade is if Kamara is your only running back left standing. If every other running back is injured or out and you need that depth, but I
I
want
would
to keep
not.
Kamara.
Me too. And Boyd.
Kamara's the best player in this trade, no doubt. I don't know that the gap is huge between him and Mixon at the end of the year. So I might be okay taking this, getting the depth, getting Lenny as a running back. And I feel like Boyd is somewhat replaceable in terms of like you can find wide receivers who are
Wow.
having similar production. But yeah, usually I like to trade for the best player, and Kamara is the best player in that trade.
And he came in and said Zach Moss is his RB2. So he would be it would go his running backs would change from Kamara and Moss to Lenny and Mixon. Josh, you're our resident Mixon lover. Which side of this trade are you taking?
I'm fine with it.
You're
I'm
fine, with it.
it. I'm fine making this trade. I as much as I love Mixon, I hated Leonard Fournette coming into the season, but I've changed my tune there. He is the man for Tampa Bay, and this offense is so high powered, so great. I want all the pieces I can get, and Leonard Fournette, he's taken over as the running back there. It's a big upgrade
Or
for your
Ronald
starting
Jones.
lineup, I think. As long as Mixon can stay healthy, I'm
That's
fine
the
with that trade.
catch. Yeah.
I know.
But I have full disclosure. I have Joe Mixon and Scott Fishbowl, and he's been fantastic for me.
Oh,
Oh,
he's been killing it.
I think I do too. I'm pretty sure I do too.
Guys, we're going to move on to our next poll. We're going into the second round, and everyone in the chat who's asking questions, I see them, but we got to make sure we get through this game. If we do not get to your question on this show, make sure you tune in 15 minutes after we end this on the same YouTube channel. We're live for Fantasy Football Office Hours, doing nothing but answering your questions. So bring them in there if we don't get to it on today's show. Josh, you ready?
Yes, hit me.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm ready.
This is a dynasty PPR league where you have to start 2 tight ends. So it's a start 2
Okay.
tight end dynasty PPR league. Side A is Kyle Pitts. Side B is Ezekiel Elliott. What percentage of people chose Kyle Pitts in this poll?
So just real fast, like even in starting starting two tight ends.
It's not tight end premium.
I took it as tight end premium.
Two tight ends.
Yeah. Okay. When you first asked it, I was just thinking tight end premium. You're starting two tight ends.
Yep.
Never been in a league where you have to start two tight ends, but I gotta assume they are heavily valued. And Kyle Pitts in his own right, I mean, just as a dynasty asset, even outside of tight end premium, you could consider him as, I think a lot of people consider him the dynasty tight end one. The dynasty tight end one. We see where Kelsey's getting drafted in just normal leagues. I actually could see Kyle Pitts winning this trade pool. It sounds crazy because like in 99.9% of fantasy leagues, I'm going to take Ezekiel Elliott here. But when you have to start two tight ends and Kyle Pitts, I'm going to the Kyle Pitts side. I'll say that 54% of people chose side A.
Josh locking in 54% for Kyle Pitts. John Luke, do you think the actual answer is over or under?
Question, though. I hate you, Simon, for doing this.
Josh.
Yeah.
I'm going over. I had 88% was the number I wrote down. I think Kyle Pitts easily wins this one. In Dynasty, I think I got Zeke in like the 5th round in our Superflex Dynasty League this offseason. No, he has been playing well, and of course there's the narrative. But starting two tight ends, people are going to freak. I feel like all those tight ends will be gone in the first 2 rounds, to those top 3 or 4. So, yeah, I'm going to go over.
JL taking the over. Jen, are you taking the over or the under?
I'm taking the over as well.
Double overs on this one. So Josh's guess was 54%. We've got some guesses in the chat as well.
Like 7% or something.
Jay said 76%. Matt said 85%. J-Wall said 77%.
Whatever,
Albert said 68. Joey's with you, Josh. He said 43%. He thinks Zeke's going to win this one.
If it's 43%, I got a point.
JR said 67. Thomas said 69. And Truly Epic said 57%.
Oh, no. I don't want to see this.
The actual percentage of people that chose Kyle Pitts over Ezekiel Elliott in the start 2 tight end Dynasty PPR league is 82%. Ugh. It is 82%. So, Josh, unfortunately, you get skunked this round. You get nothing because you were almost 30 percentage points away. But Jen and JL, you guys get 2 points each for correctly picking the over-under on this one. So nice job, guys.
At least we have that first round of polls to remember fondly.
Yeah.
Where we all did well.
Can we go back to that?
Jen and John Luke, that brings you up to 11 points each. And Josh, you're obviously still in this with 9 points. As long as you're within 10, it is anybody's game going into the final round.
So we're good. I mean, like, I'm not.
Joey said a squirrel stole my phone. What was the question?
I think he's just trying to cover up to his 43%.
John Luke, are you ready for your next poll?
Squirrel. Yeah.
Your poll is a 12-team dynasty league. Side A is Devonta Smith. Side B is Travis Etienne. What percentage of people chose the Devonta Smith side of this poll?
It's a 2 tight end league, though.
It's a 2 tight, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, you got me a snort. Don't do that, Josh.
That was a good one, Josh. People are leaving Travis Etienne for dead, and they're wrong. I'm going to go with...
They're wrong.
I'm going to go with... Man, what was the trade Landon sent me the other day? It was...
Landon? He sent me a trade. He wanted
like
my Josh Jacobs for his Austin Hooper.
Yeah, I think I got Travis Etienne for like Emmanuel Sanders in Dynasty. It's got to be the Devonta Smith side. I'm gonna go with 77%.
JL locking in with 77%. Jen, do you think the actual answer is over or under 77% on this poll for the Devonta Smith side?
Pretty solid.
I think it's under.
Jen taking the under.
I agree. It should be Devonta Smith. I'm just thinking about what other people are thinking, and they think they're clever.
They're clever. Taking the under there. Josh, are you following Jen
than me?
Or are you taking the over on this one, Josh?
I don't know. 70 what?
77.
It honestly kind of feels pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get Travis Etienne the rest of the year, so the only person making this trade or choosing the Travis Etienne side is someone rebuilding. I I mean,
It's
yeah,
the
for the
same,
most
man.
part. I'll take the under though. I'll take the under.
Double
like
unders.
jail.
Josh sounds very
Almost split
confident
the
with that
room.
one. Almost split the room, JL. So JL locked in with 77%. We've got double unders. We have some guesses in the chat. Joey with 55. Matt says 91%.
Ooh.
JR says 67. Albert with 60. Thomas with 63. J-Wall with 45. And Jay with 66.
All
These
solidly
answers were
under.
all over the place. So
I
Matt
like
was
seeing
91.
the amount of unders.
Might have made a mistake here.
Yeah, I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. Let's go.
The actual percentage of people that chose Devonta Smith over Travis Etienne in this poll was exactly 75%. JL, you were 2 percentage points off.
Nice.
I
And
hate
Jen
this game.
and Josh, you guys correctly picked the under, so you're going to get 2 more points. But JL, you are absolutely killing it today with that guess. That's going to bring you up to
Travis Etienne is my
16
spirit
points.
animal. That's why.
Wow.
Yeah, but you were guessing away from him from everyone else. Like
Because
you were
everyone
like
hates
saying like
him.
you were literally just like, no, definitely not him.
Everyone was hating him before he got hurt, and then he got hurt, and it made me so sad because I'm like, now I can't rub it in your face when he does amazing.
Yeah. So in terms of Etienne, who would you rather have, JL? Would you rather have Travis Etienne or Devonta Smith? If we had to ask you right now, yeah.
I mean, for
I know it's
value,
team dependent. I know
market
it's
value alone, I'd rather have Devonta Smith because I think you'll be able to probably trade for Travis Etienne and more if you have Devonta Smith. I think that it will be a lot closer next season.
Yeah, but so Travis Etienne, like he's on the Jaguars, right?
Yeah.
He is.
He's on the
Yeah.
Jaguars.
That is
So
And have you seen this guy named James Robinson?
yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say, Jen.
Damn good.
He is
Yeah.
very good. He is very good. I've had to change direction a little bit on my James Robinson hatred. I'm now firm James Robinson stan, just 180 there. He is very good. Is this the last year of his contract? Am I wrong about that?
He was a rookie last year, so
Well, then definitely not.
And he was an undrafted free agent last year. I absolutely love that kid coming in, undrafted free agent, balling out like he is. My concern about Travis Etienne is like, what are they going to do? I know Urban Meyer had some big plan for him, but as we know, Urban Meyer often tries to score and it doesn't always work out for him.
His
So
plans don't always execute flawlessly.
yeah, it doesn't execute that well. So I feel like Travis Etienne would be great somewhere else, you know? Like I hate him for Jacksonville. It's like unfair to the talent.
Yeah.
And I think Thomas came in here and made a really good point that when the Jags have an actual coach and not Urban Meyer, ETN will have to beat out James Robinson. I think a lot of people have this perception that Urban Meyer was the reason they drafted Travis Etienne. If Urban Meyer's out of there, what does that mean for Travis Etienne? Yeah, he had all these plans, but that's going to go out the window once a new coach comes in. And James Robinson's proven for 2 years now with 2 different coaching staffs that he's just a fantastic running back. I'm nervous about Travis Etienne's future.
Hey, maybe they trade James Robinson.
Or Travis Etienne. Okay, guys, are you ready for the last poll before we move into the final round?
Let's do it.
Jen, this one is coming to you. Your poll is, who would you prefer rest of season in PPR? So this is a redraft question. Who would you prefer rest of season?
Redraft.
Side A.
Yeah.
Side A.
A lot of dynasty so far.
Adam Thielen, or side B, Antonio Brown? What percentage of people chose Adam Thielen in this poll?
Oh, this is horrible. This is hard. PPR, dang. Thielen is so touchdown dependent, but Antonio Brown's the number 3 receiver on his team, maybe number 4 if you count Gronk. Dang. I don't like this at all.
Me either. I have a number in mind, though. I have a number.
Okay, you do? All right.
Yeah, I do.
I have to tell you, I do not feel dialed into this. I would personally rather have Adam Thielen, so I'm just going to go that way. And so I'm going to say 53% Adam Thielen, just because because I like Thielen better.
53% on the Thielen side from Jen. Josh, where are you going on this one? Over or under Jen's guess of 53%?
Oh, Jen, you're making the number 1 error in poll perception here. Like, it doesn't matter how we feel, we're wrong. We're wrong.
You're right.
Those Twitter folks are nuts, though. All right, I'm joking. I'm completely joking. I'm gonna take the under though, just because I think Antonio Brown has been consistent enough and is scoring a ton of points. I think he probably wins this, but I could see it going either way.
Josh taking the under. JL, are you going over or under Jen's guess of 53%?
53. I'm going to go under as well. Antonio Brown, just in the last 3 games,
I would go under as well.
Under my own guess. In just the last 3 games, Antonio Brown has 25.2% of the market share on that team, which is on the season 16%. So I think recency bias will definitely have some play here.
There we go. So we've got double under on this one. There wasn't a single line today that split the room, but you guys have been killing it on the over-under so far. We have some guesses in the chat. Truly Epic with 43%, J-Wall with 35, Albert said 25, JR said 61, Jay said 44, Thomas said 71, and Matt said 45. These guesses are all over the place. So they're just everywhere. And Jay said sell high on AB. He's getting out. Okay, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose Adam Thielen over Antonio Brown rest of season in a PPR league is 37%. And Jen, unfortunately, 53 is exactly 16 percentage points away.
And you guys are wrong,
outside.
By the way. All you out there are wrong.
You're all wrong.
You're all wrong.
That is the one benefit you get from you just choosing your pick. You just let the people know what it should be,
Wrong.
Yeah.
So after that, JL, that moves you up to 18 points. Josh with 13 and Jen with 13. So Josh and Jen, you guys can tie if you win the final round. You'll tie with JL.
But you won't.
If you unless you get it exactly right, and then you will win the game if you get it exactly on the dot. While you guys are coming up with your answers, I'll find a tiebreaker poll just in case that happens. That way we don't end up with a tie. And then we will go from there. Are you guys ready for your final poll? And Jen, it's a tradition. I never ask the guest if they have pen and paper. Do you happen to have pen and paper nearby?
I do.
Perfect. We'll be writing down our answers for this one.
I don't, despite knowing that I need pen and paper for this game from the thousands of times I've played it, but I'm going to use my phone.
Okay, so this is a dynasty league. Side A is Lamar Jackson. Side B is Justin Herbert. Side C is Dak Prescott. What percentage of people said they would prefer to have Lamar Jackson on their dynasty team over these other 2 quarterbacks? So I need you guys to come up with that answer for me. I'll give you about 30 seconds to a minute to write down your answer, and then we will reveal them. Whoever's closest will win this final round. And a lot of silence. You guys don't like this one, do you?
Suck, Simon. Suck.
I want all of them.
I don't want any of them.
My answer is yes.
Pass. I'll take Heineke.
Heineke over all 3? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, do you guys have your answers ready?
Yeah.
Jen, Josh, are you guys good to go?
Good. Not excited about it, but I'm good.
Not excited, but I'm good.
Josh, we're going to come to you first to reveal your answer. What is your guess for this poll? 36% for Josh. Jen, what is your guess on this poll? 31%. And JL, what is your guess on this poll?
I had a last minute change. I'm very happy about it because I moved it up 1%.
37% for JL.
Last minute change after you saw my answer.
No, Josh, take it back.
Sure.
We've got 36% from Josh, 37% from JL, and 31% from Jen. We have some guesses in the chat as well. J Wall said 26%. Truly Epic said 36. Albert said 41. Thomas said, I think people are sleeping on Lamar, 29%. Carlos said 32. Matt said 100% Lamar. Come on. And Jay said 35%. JR with 20% on the Lamar side. The actual percentage of people that chose Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott in this poll is 27%. Jen, you are the closest. Meaning you are tied with JL for the time being.
Well done.
And we are going to go to a tiebreaker poll. And how I like to do tiebreakers is they are not fantasy related at all. This tiebreaker poll is just going to be a random poll that I find, and then we will go from that. So your poll with 3,357 votes, I need each of you guys to write an answer down. The question is, which is better, ketchup or mustard? What percentage of people chose ketchup in this poll?
God.
Okay.
I do so bad at these. I have such bad opinions.
Let me know when you guys have your answer. Again, it's ketchup versus mustard, and I'm asking what percentage of people chose ketchup.
Oh, whatever, man. Whatever.
This is to determine the win. Jen, are you
Jen
ready?
got this. Come on, Jen.
I'm ready.
JL, ready? Jen said 58%. JL, where did you go? 57% from JL. So Jen has 58%. And Josh, just for fun, threw a 63 in there. He doesn't get to play, but
Josh is like the little kid at the older siblings basketball game playing in the court next to them, just shooting.
Running up and down with them, shooting on both hoops. Okay, guys, the actual percentage of people based on over 3,000 votes that said they prefer ketchup is 81%. Jen, you are today's winner of poll perception in overtime.
By 1%. Baby. By the way, I put mustard.
You would go mustard? I thought that Simon.
The thing is,
Simon would pick a poll that would be mustard because he hates ketchup.
I feel like the mustard people are like much more like, oh, it's definitely mustard over ketchup, or like just like more ketchup people out there. But
I agree. I think the general public is a ketchup public. I think it's a ketchup public.
Yes, I agree. But the mustard people are vocal about it. They're like, no ketchup in my life.
Twitter has taught me many things.
I love this scroll that says Jen wins. Jen wins. Can I just save that? Because it might be the only thing I win all year.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, Jen, thank you so much for coming on today, and great job with the overtime win. You have kept JL winless when it comes to overtime. He just can't get the W in overtime.
The pattern holds.
Gotta change your middle name to Danger.
Done. I was doing that either way.
Everyone watching, if you are not already following Jen on Twitter, what are you doing? Go follow her at Jen Piacenti and check her out tonight on SiriusXM for Fantasy Dirt at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's not a normal show, but she will be killing it over there. Jen, thank you so much again for coming on today. This was a blast.
It was awesome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And trading makes fantasy fun.
Trading does make fantasy fun. Guys, that is it for us for about 10 minutes. We will be live in 10 minutes on the same channel for Fantasy Football Office Hours answering your questions. So come over there and ask us any of your questions we didn't get to today. That is it for us today, though. Matt said 87% because everyone has the palate of a little kid. You nailed it, Matt. You were right there. JWall, you too. I guess
French
you
fries
guys
and
go,
ketchup? French fries and ketchup?
Ugh.
I like French fries and ketchup.
Don't get me started on ketchup. It's my second least favorite food, but that's for another show.
Food?
It's a food, right? Condiments are food.
Yeah, it's.
Have you seen Big Daddy? That kid, all he does is eat ketchup.
You're right. You're right. And you know what? Adam Sandler movies are a credible source for any take you have. You can use those as a credible source. Guys, we are out of here for now, but thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Jen, again for coming on. Until next time, we'll see you, everybody.
Good game. Blah.